Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we are going to have a seat for jiu-jitsu, but more on that in just a little bit. Make sure you've got a chair or anything else that's going to be able to stand in. We're not actually going to be sitting down, but you're going to have to stay tuned to see what's up with that. We're going to get warmed up first. I'll put this chair away, and we're going to be doing some variations on jumping jacks like we've done before. So let's start off with your basic jumping jack. And 1 minute of warm up and go. Forward and backward with those. And twisters. Keep it going. Just a couple more seconds. And stop. Good. All right. Let's circle our head. Out of the way. Arms forward. And backwards. And cross them. Up and down. Twist your body. Circle your hips around. Out of the way. Good. Bring your feet in closer, bend your knees, circle with the knees. Out of the way. Good. Come on back up. All right. So some things that we're going to do to start off with, standing up, some conditioning drills. We're going to start by reaching out and touching the ground. Simple enough. I'm going to be working on my balance and my stability. So I'm going to be raising my rear leg and taking my hand down same side as that leg. So I'm reaching down and come back up. Okay. Now, if you need to set your foot down in between these, go ahead. If you can do this by setting down and coming back up and staying balanced, then do that, okay? I'm going to have a hard time on my left foot with that, but we'll see how I do on my right, okay? Best you can, starting with the right foot back, right hand touching. We'll do about 10 of those, and then we'll switch over to the other side. Okay, ready? And 1, reach it, and back up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, didn't make it on that last one. We all had a little trouble with that. All right, so switching over to the other side. Left foot down, left hand down, and then coming back up. Ready? And 1, 2, left foot, left hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. So from here, I'm going to drop my hands to the mat and I'm going to walk it forward. I'm going to walk it back. Okay. I'm not going to be going all that far, but what I'm going to have you do is make sure you're following along with Caden and Aylin here. They're going to walk all the way out to a push-up plank position. They're going to do one push-up and they're going to walk it back. Okay. So we're just simply bending forward to touch the hands and we're going to walk it forward. All right, that's about as far as my foot's going to let me go. Then you'll do the push-up, and then you'll walk it back. Standing up. Try to keep those legs as stiff as possible. Yeah, it's easy to come down here, squat it down, and then walk it out. Let's try to keep those legs straight as we bend forward. Keep them straight as we walk it out. And as we walk it up, keep them straight, and then stand straight up, okay? So let's do this together. Again, to the best of your ability. I'm a little hampered today. My toes don't want to bend like that, but I'm going to work within what my limits are, go as far as I can get, and challenge myself for what I'm capable of doing today. And if you've got an injury, just got a mobility issue, work within those limits and challenge yourself just a little bit every day and you'll be surprised with those results. Let's go with these. And 1, taking it down, walking it out. Put 1 foot here and I can do it. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Good. All right. Now we're going to get down on the ground, do some of the important groundwork that we've got. The hip outs, upas, triangles. So we're going to be on our back. We're going to do our shrimps, our hip outs. So we're going to do 2 sets of these. And I want you to do your hip outs 2 different ways. So we'll do a total of 10 of each method, 5 per side with each. So the first one, we're going to bring our feet in close to our butt, normal hip out position here, okay? and I'm just simply going to slide myself back. I'm in contact with the ground all the way, and I'm sliding. Okay? Then reverse to bring it back in. Okay? Same thing on the other side. We're simply going to be, we're making our frames, always making our frames, and then we're going to push our hips out to the side, sliding along the ground, and then pulling back. Okay? So that's our first one. Let's all start off moving our hips to our left side here. Okay? So hips are going towards me on number 1. Ready? And 1. Pull it back in. 2, hipping out and pulling back in. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all right. 10. Good. All right. One more set of hip outs. This time we're going to be driving our hips up, and the only point of contact throughout this shrimp, throughout the hip out, is going to be our feet and our shoulder. So our hips are coming way up off the ground, and I'm going to be really driving my weight out. This is where most of your escapes are going to happen, because most of the time, if you've got a hip out from somebody's top pressure, you're not going to be able to just simply slide. Sometimes you can do it if they're not blocking the hips. Good for you. Sometimes, though, you're going to need to really drive in, and then from there, if you lay back down, they're just coming right back on top of you. So you need to keep the frames up, you need to keep the pressure in, and you need to just simply explode out. No space here, okay? This is what you're going to need if I'm coming out and I'm going to be doing a technical stand-up from here. I need that space underneath, okay? I might be doing another hip out. The second hip out might be that slide that we did first. Okay, I've created some space. Now I can just create a little bit more to finish the escape. But most of the time you're going to start escape, you need to oopa up and drive it out. So again, hips are going to drive up, and then I'm going to drive my hips outward, okay? And there's even more that we could get into with hip position here, but for right now, you're just getting your feet in close, you're driving your hips up, you're going to keep shoulder to foot contact. Ooh, okay, so this side's a little harder with that foot, but I can still manage it on the side of my foot. Ideally, I want to be driving my toes into the mat, okay? So, doing the best you can, one side, the other side. We're going to start with our hips again towards this side, doing 5 per side, total of a 10 count. Ready? And 1, big oopa, drive the hips out, reverse shrimp to come back in. Okay, much more dynamic in this one. And 2, hips up and out, come back in. 3, hips up, out, and back in. 4, up, drive them out, bring it back in. 5, hips, drive, and back in. 6, up, out, back in. 7, up, out, back in. And 8, up, out, back in. 9, up, out, in. Last one. 10, up, out, and back in. Good. All right. So, hip outs. Now let's isolate that oopa. We're going to use that oopa all the way up. And here's some things I want you to think about with this one. We're not worrying about the hip out now, so let's get a little bit more into the weeds with some of that position. And then you can go back and try to integrate them both. Okay? I can have my feet flat out, knees bent, but not particularly close, and I can push up. I can bring my feet in a little closer, and I can drive up a little bit more. I can rotate my head away from one shoulder, and I can drive up even more and reach. So that's what we're going for. We want those feet in as close to your butt as possible. We want the head off to one side so that as I drive up, I can drive up and give myself the most benefit out of that umpa. Okay, whether it's somebody on top side control and I'm driving in, look, there's that umpa for that hip escape. Okay, or whatever space you're needing to create or take away in this case. But we're going to be working that just with UPA, and then you can try to put that together with the hip out on your own time. So just the UPA, we're going to do a total of a 10 count. So go 5 on each side. Doesn't matter much which side you start on. I'm going to be starting by moving my right arm over my left shoulder here. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're going to do some triangle sit-ups, triangle crunches here. So in this case, it's my legs that are coming up, just like I would with a triangle. I'm shooting my hips up in the air. So I'm not just coming up here and crossing with my feet on the ground. I need to lift them up nice and high and catch that triangle up in the air. Try to put the hip twist into that if you can, okay? If you can't, then that's probably why your triangles aren't working so well when you're rolling, okay? So driving those hips up, 10 count here as well. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Well, we're sitting down, but now's the time to grab a seat. All right. So I'm not going to be sitting down on this chair. All right. There's plenty of exercises you can do with a chair, including dips. But that's not on the plate for tonight. Instead, we're going to be laying these things down. You're like this. Alan, let me have you move forward a little bit. We're going to start off with just a simple little side-to-side mobility drill. And then we'll step that mobility drill up a little bit. And then we'll do one application where we turn that into something that you're going to find familiar with a guard pass. Okay? So just because you don't have a partner doesn't mean you can't train your skills and keep things as fresh as possible when you get back in on the mats. Okay? So I'm here. Oh, before we get started, a quick word. You see we've got a stool, we've got a big chair, we've got a little collapsible chair. So when you're doing this at home, you've got to consider the chair that you're working with. We don't know what you've got, so I can't tell you that it's going to be safe to put your weight on the legs of that chair. We've had a chair bust out from underneath us just sitting down on it. So you don't know what kind of stresses you've got on that chair. So I'm not gonna suggest that you really apply your weight. You can already feel this flex if I put weight down on it. So we're mostly using that as a guide, okay? And then you're using body motion for the rest of it, okay? Aylin's chair, that could completely collapse underneath her if she puts down too much weight. My chair, the legs could break completely right out from underneath the seat. And Caden's, where his hands are, is pretty supported. Might not break, but that thing has got a lot of lateral movement in it. So as he's moving side to side, it could collapse it. So there's no telling what's going on. So just use that for positional frame of reference. Okay. Now, with that said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of shuffle our feet to the side here. And I'm not going down too far, just moving side to side on this one. We're going to get low here in a second. Then I'm going to shuffle back. Okay. So I'm going to shuffle to the other side, out here. Notice how I'm transferring my hands as I go. I'm controlling both legs of the chair. And as I go, I'm transferring my control over to this side. Okay. That's not always going to be the case. Oftentimes you're going to want to control both of those as you're maneuvering around. Okay. But for right now, I'm just kind of moving side to side and kind of feeling my way through space as I move. So I'm just kind of touching and kind of getting a gauge of where things are. Okay. If you want to modify this and work this as I'm stepping and controlling those feet to the side, you're absolutely welcome to do that. Okay. So I can absolutely push that just like I would if I were driving my opponent's knees to the side as I step around. Okay. But that means putting a little bit more pressure on your chair, and we're not doing that in here right now. Okay. So moving to the side first, I'm going to move to my left, just kind of shuffle over, and then move it back. And then I'll move to my right and move it back. So each count, I'm going to move out and I'm going to move back. Okay, ready? And 1, to the side and back. 2, side and back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. So next step with this one is we're going to be transferring all the way over to one side and to the other side. Okay. And again, you can try to make this look very much like a guard pass if you want to. And if you're finding those applications in these mobility drills, great. I highly encourage you to do that. But for this particular drill, I'm working on some up and down position as well as the side to side. So I'm going to be moving all the way out to the side, and I'm coming low. My hands coming down to the mat, keeping my toes active, and then I'm going to transfer all the way over. Hands coming down, transferring all the way over. Okay, so you're moving left side to right side all the way with this, and get that hand low, get the body low. Okay, some things to watch out for is if you're getting tired, you may keep those legs nice and tall and bend all the way over. Okay, don't get in the habit of doing that because that's exposing your body, that's breaking your balance. It's going to be real easy for someone to sweep you if that's the kind of posture you're getting used to. So if you're getting tired, slow it down a little bit and make sure that you could still get into a good low posture here. And just slow. Come up and then down. Okay? Whatever pace you need to go at. All right? So we're going to demonstrate 10 of these. Okay? 5 to each side. All the way down. One side. Next count all the way down to the other side. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get myself kind of set off to the right. Okay? My foot's in the middle. And I'm going to just simply shuffle my way over. Drop my weight down at the start of this. Okay? So hands are in position here. Starting low. And 1, 2, 3. Keep your posture. 4. Don't bend it over. Bend at those knees. Get your butt low. There you go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Relax. Okay. If 10 is, careful. If 10 is really making those legs burn, great. If it's not, do more. If you're really having a hard time before you get to 10, stop. Okay? You can do this in 2 sets of 4 or 6. Make sure it's even, so you do the same amount on each side. And then just do a total of 8. Do a total of 12 between the 2 sets to give yourself a little rest in between. All right, if 10 just isn't enough of a challenge, add another 10. Do another set. Okay, you can always rewind and follow the video, but once you've done this a few times, you know what's going on. You can add your own challenge. All right, so now taking that same concept of shuffle, and now I'm going to be leaving my hands on the legs of this chair here. Okay, so I'm going to be shuffling forward. Okay, dropping pressure on the leg. I'm not going to be dropping too low because, again, sitting on this, the leg of this chair is probably going to break it. So I'm going to be coming low here. I'm going to kick out and then bring my foot to the side of the chair. Okay, this one's got some nice rounded edges around here, but some of these corners are still going to knock your shins if you're not careful. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. Okay, Aylin's moved her chair to the side because those braces are just getting in the way. So take whatever steps you need to. Okay, if like this stool is going to afford you probably an opportunity to come up and work some narrow guard passing here, or some really low guard passing when it's on its side. Maybe you've got a chair like me and it's not going to make a bit of difference one side or the other. Okay, so work with what you got. Okay, let's go. Hands are on. I'm going to be shuffling into my left first, kick, and coming in here. Okay, so to step back, I'm just simply going to drive back into position here. Okay, then I'm going to shuffle in, kick back, and come off to this side. Then I just shuffle back. So I'm always going to be shuffling myself back into this position here. I'm not leaning over. I want to keep my body as upright as possible. Okay, and as I'm coming in, I'm definitely making sure that I've got some good postures, good weight distribution. I don't want to be able to take my hands over to the side and just absolutely fall, because I'm doing my opponent's work for them. So I want to be low here. If I'm going to be committing weight, I want to be driving back here, or I'm putting enough pressure to isolate their movement as well. All right, you ready? One to our left. 1, on the side, kick it, and back, and bring it up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right. Now we're done with those chairs. All right. So let's start off with our stretches. Okay. Just kind of work on breathing, cooling down a little bit. Just relax your body. Kind of rotate those shoulders a little bit. All right. Get your body moving just a little bit, side to side. Okay. We're not trying to get things to warm up. We're just trying to make sure that our muscles get a little bit of movement. So we're kind of leaning it forward and backward too here. Okay. Bring your arms back, forward, rotating the shoulders outward and inward. Good. All right. Let's bring one arm across, other arm is up. Bring this across, stretching out across that arm there. And then let's switch it to the other side. switch again, but this time take that arm up over your head, grab the elbow and pull it back. And make sure you keep your head as up as you can. And then switch. Good. Bring those hands down. Take your hands behind you. And this will be the only time in jiu-jitsu where we advise you to lock your fingers. You're going to bring them back here. And we're going to be extending our arms back. Okay. This one is particularly difficult for me because my right shoulder is still tight even a year after surgery. And I can't go very far.
This is how far I can get. This is how far I can get.
Good for you. Keep working on that flexibility. If you've got it, work it so you don't lose it. If you don't have it, you got to work it so you can try to get at least a little bit of it back. It's been coming back for me, but it is slow. But don't give up. Slow is still progress. All right. Bring it back. Circle those shoulders out again a little bit. All right. So let's have a seat. Feet forward. And reach. And put one foot in. Again, reach. And bring that foot across and then opposite hand over. Twist. Bring it back. Hug up underneath that knee and lift that up. Good. Straighten it all the way out and bring the other foot up. And reach it out. And bring that leg up and across. Opposite arm through and twist. And straighten it out. Up underneath that leg. Pull up. Good. And straighten it back out. All right. Legs out wide. And reach it forward. take the side, reaching. And other side, reach. Good. All right. Take your left side, turn that leg inward, kind of rotate forward over that knee. Want the top of the rear foot to be down all the way, rotated up. And come back and switch it the other side. And come on back. All right, let's stand back up. All right, so that's today's workout. We'll have more ideas for working with a chair at home for you in the next video, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Ready? Attention, bow, loose.
Bye-bye.